Hi guys, and welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today at Drayton Park Golf Club. I'm in my swing studio again, and today's video is going to be about the hand path into impact. I have done a video before, quite recently, talking about the differences between the hand path and the club path, but I was talking about the whole golf swing. And I've had a few comments to that video, some really positive feedback, but it is quite a big area and there are some misconceptions out there and a little bit of misunderstanding. So what I want to discuss in today's video is what the hands are doing into impact and how that's affecting the club. So I'm not going to focus too much on the rest of the swing. I'm focusing on the vital area, the point that we're actually striking the golf ball. So if I just get into my setup position and get into a golf posture, I'm going to make a backswing position. I'm going to come then down to last parallel, where the club is last parallel to the ground. And the first thing I wanted to say about the hands is that is the lowest point the hands get to. So that's our low point with our hands. As we're rotating now, my hands are actually moving upwards, even though the club is moving downwards. Of course, we have to release this angle in our wrist at some point. So our lowest point with our hands is actually when the club is at last parallel to the ground and I'm just above knee height, bottom of my thigh here, and as I'm rotating, even though my hands are actually moving upwards, the club is still moving downwards. So that's one misconception, because a lot of golfers are trying to pull their hands down, getting lower and lower and lower, and we tend to see heavy strikes. So our hands are actually reaching their lowest point pre-impact. My hope with this video is just a little bit of understanding is really going to help you put a couple of these into some practice swings to really understand the movement a little bit better when you're on the golf course. That, as I said, there's too many misconceptions out there of what the hands are trying to do or what's creating the swing. I just want to break it down and talk about impact. So that's point number one, that our lowest point of our hands is pre-impact. At last parallel here, our hands are actually moving upwards even though the club is still moving down into the back of the golf ball. The second thing is from this same position at last parallel here, my hands are actually moving around and in towards my left side. So my hands are moving inwards even though the club is moving outwards. Okay, what we don't want to try and do is get our hands moving out towards the golf ball. That's going to promote a lot of heel shots, a lot of shanks. It could even start to be a reason why we're getting and seeing some early extension movement with the hips moving towards the golf ball. So from this position, my hands are actually moving in and to the left, even though the club is moving out towards the golf ball. We definitely don't want our arms going out to the golf ball. So what I want you to do, I want you to actually get into this pre-impact position at last parallel here, and I just want you to do some slow swings and hitting some golf balls, just focusing on what the hands are doing. So from this position, my hands are actually moving to the left and upwards, okay? If my hands are moving to the left and upwards, you can see my body is rotating and my lead side is starting to extend. It's starting to straighten into impact that we're wanting to see. That's throwing the club out towards the golf ball on this nice in to square to in path that we want to see. And that's naturally squaring the club face without me having to force this rotation. So I am rotating my body from this position and squaring the club face. My hands are actually moving in and to the left, and they're starting to move upwards as my body extends, as my body straightens. So the hand path from pre-impact, from here, last parallel, is my hands are moving inwards towards my left side, my lead side, and they're starting to move upwards. And this body rotation is starting to square the club face. What I don't want to do is if my body stalls, it's my hands and my arms going out towards the golf ball. We've just got to keep rotating from there. So what I want you to do is go ahead and hit some shots where we're getting to that last parallel position. and just seeing if we can square the club face through rotation. So last parallel here, and I'm just going to be feeling that the hands are moving in and to the left. So you can just see a nice little soft draw pattern. Strike felt very good. Didn't feel like I needed any manipulation with my hands, but I was just very conscious. So my swing path was 3 degrees in to out. We know the club face was slightly closed to that. The ball's finished a little left of target. But I definitely didn't feel like I had to chase with my hands or get my arms going out towards the golf ball. So let's do one more of those. Pre-impact here. And just concentrating on these hands moving in towards my left side and up. As I said, the club is actually moving down and out towards the golf ball. A little on the heavy side, that one. If I'm catching a little heavy, I want to be rotating my body. I was trying to slow it down perhaps a little bit too much. I want to rotate my body a little bit more, a little bit quicker. So let's hit one last one. I can't finish on that. Into here, hands are moving in, up and to the left. There we go. I found it actually easier putting a little bit more speed into it. I think I was trying to slow it down perhaps a little bit too much for camera. Let's have a quick peek at that last one because it felt great. Yeah, it's a mid-centered strike. Swing path was going in to out. The club face was open but closed towards my path, and I hit a nice push draw pattern. So I definitely can square the club face, or square it as much as I need to from body rotation, but that awareness of what my hands are doing into impact really helps me gain control over what the club head is doing. So I'm not focusing so much on the club, I'm focusing on my hands. We're actually moving in towards my left side and starting to move upwards, and you can see that's allowing my body to rotate and to start to extend that we really want to see into impact. I know if you can break that down into a practice exercise, it's really going to help you gain control over the club head and gain a little bit of understanding about the hand path into impact. If you did enjoy the content out of the video, give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel as well. There's plenty of other content every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:30. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.